Greetings, brave souls. Do you dare to discover the dark unknown? I am your haunted host, Phantom Spectres, and you stumbled upon the Phantom Files, where shadows speak and legends awaken. Here I unravel the darkest secrets and mysteries of the macabre, taking a page from my ancient library, covering topics that will haunt your dreams and mysteries that will keep you up at night. Join me in the shadows and let's embrace and dive into the darkness together with the Phantom Files. Welcome, seekers of the unknown, to the Phantom Files. Tonight, we delve into one of the most enigmatic and chilling legends of our time, a tale that has haunted the dreams of many and left an indelible mark on the tapestry of American folklore. This is the story of the Mothman. But before we begin, I must warn you, the path we're about to tread is not for the faint of heart. For in unraveling the mystery of the Mothman, we may find ourselves questioning the very fabric of reality itself. Are you prepared to look into the glowing red eyes of the unknown? Then gather close, dear viewers, and steel your nerves. For we're about to embark on a journey that will take us from the mist-shrouded banks of the Ohio River to the shadowy realm where legends are born and sometimes, where they come to life. Our story begins in the quaint town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Nestled along the banks of the Ohio River, it was a place of tranquility, a slice of Americana where life moved at a gentle pace. But in the autumn of 1966, this idyllic community would become the epicenter of a phenomenon that would shake it to its very core. On November 12, 1966, a crisp autumn night, two young couples decided to take a leisurely drive near the old West Virginia Ordnance Works, a decommissioned World War II TNT plant. Little did they know that this innocent outing would mark the beginning of a terrifying saga. As they approached the plant, their headlights fell upon a sight that would forever change their lives and the face of American folklore. There, in the gloom, stood a figure that defied explanation. It was humanoid, yet utterly alien, standing nearly 7 feet tall, with a wingspan that stretched an impossible 10 feet. It regarded them with eyes that glowed an unearthly red. The creature's body was described as dark gray, almost black. Its wings, when unfurled, revealed a texture like leather, but unlike any animal ever encountered. But it was those eyes, those piercing, hypnotic eyes that would become the most iconic feature of what would soon be known as the Mothman. Panic gripped the witnesses as they fled, their minds reeling from what they had seen. But their ordeal was far from over. As they sped towards town, their terror mounting with each passing moment, they reportedly saw it again, keeping pace with their vehicle, which was now hurtling down the road at over 100 miles per hour. When they finally reached the safety of the Point Pleasant Sheriff's Office, they were visibly shaken and terrified. Their account was met with skepticism, but the sincerity of their fear was undeniable. News of the encounter spread like wildfire. Within days, the local press had dubbed the creature Mothman, a name inspired by the popular Batman TV series of the time. Little did they know that this playful moniker would soon become synonymous with dread and foreboding across the nation. What followed was a year unlike any other in Point Pleasant's history. The Mothman sightings continued, each one adding a new layer to the unfolding mystery. From November 1966 to December 1967, over 100 sightings were reported, not just by excitable teenagers or unreliable sources, but by respected members of the community, police officers, teachers, and local officials. The Mothman seemed to be everywhere and nowhere at once. It was reportedly seen soaring over the town's church steeples, lurking in the shadows of the TNT plant, and even peering into second-story windows in the dead of night. It was as if the very fabric of reality had been torn, and something otherworldly had slipped through. The town was on edge, with many afraid to go out after dark. Children were kept home from school. The entire community waited in tense anticipation for the next sighting, the next inexplicable event. But the Mothman wasn't content to simply be seen. Reports began to surface of strange phenomena accompanying its appearances. Electrical disturbances, unexplained lights in the sky, and perhaps most disturbingly, prophetic dreams and visions experienced by those who had encountered the creature. Some witnesses reported experiencing vivid nightmares of disaster and destruction. These visions often featured overwhelming imagery of water and chaos, always overseen by those haunting red eyes. As the sightings continued, a pattern began to emerge. The Mothman wasn't just a creature of flesh and blood, if indeed it was flesh and blood at all. It seemed to be a harbinger, a warning of impending doom. But was it trying to prevent tragedy, or simply bearing witness to the inevitable? The Silver Bridge, spanning the Ohio River between Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and Gallipolis, Ohio, was a vital lifeline for the community. Built in 1928, it was a testament to American engineering and a symbol of progress. But on December 15, 1967, it would become the site of an unimaginable tragedy. At 5:04 p.m., during rush hour traffic, the bridge suddenly collapsed. In less than a minute, the entire structure plunged into the frigid waters of the Ohio River, taking with it 46 lives and forever changing the face of Point Pleasant. The official investigation would later attribute the collapse to a single eye-bar in the suspension chain that had developed a critical flaw. But for many in Point Pleasant, the explanation wasn't nearly so simple. In the days leading up to the disaster, Mothman sightings had reached a fever pitch. There were reports of the creature being seen near the bridge in the nights before the collapse. Some accounts described its demeanor as almost mournful, as if it were anticipating the tragedy to come. Others spoke of vivid premonitions of disaster, always accompanied by the image of those haunting red eyes. In the aftermath of the tragedy, as the town mourned its losses and searched for answers, the Mothman sightings abruptly ceased. It was as if the creature's purpose, whatever it may have been, had been fulfilled. Was the Mothman trying to warn the people of Point Pleasant? Or was it drawn to the impending tragedy, a silent witness to humanity's vulnerability? The questions lingered, unanswered, as the town struggled to rebuild and make sense of the horrors it had endured. But the story of the Mothman didn't end with the Silver Bridge disaster. In the decades that followed, sightings of similar creatures were reported across the United States and beyond. Each encounter seemed to share common elements: the towering winged figure, the glowing red eyes, and often, a sense of impending doom. In 1986, a truck driver on the outskirts of Chicago reported a massive winged creature swooping over his vehicle. Months later, a series of unexplained accidents plagued the same stretch of highway. Perhaps most chilling are the accounts from Chernobyl, Ukraine. In the days leading up to the 1986 nuclear disaster, several workers reportedly saw a large, dark, bird-like creature with glowing red eyes near the power plant. They called it the Black Bird of Chernobyl, but to those familiar with the Point Pleasant incident, the description was hauntingly familiar. These sightings raised profound questions about the nature of the Mothman. Is it a single entity, capable of appearing around the world? Or are we dealing with a species, a race of creatures that have lived alongside us, unseen, for millennia? Over the years, numerous theories have been proposed to explain the Mothman phenomenon. Some are rooted in science, others in the realm of the supernatural. Let's explore a few of the most compelling. One theory suggests that the Mothman could be a misidentified known species, such as a sandhill crane or a large owl. Proponents argue that the glowing red eyes could be explained by the reflection of light off the tapetum lucidum, a layer of tissue in some animals' eyes that enhances night vision. However, this theory fails to account for the Mothman's reported size and the profound psychological impact it had on witnesses. Another intriguing possibility is that the Mothman represents an undiscovered species, a relic from prehistoric times that has managed to survive undetected. The fossil record shows us that giant flying creatures once existed. Could a population of these beings have persisted, hidden in remote areas? While this theory is captivating, it doesn't explain the Mothman's apparent ability to predict or be drawn to disasters. Moving into more speculative territory, some parapsychologists propose that the Mothman might not be a physical creature at all, but a manifestation of collective psychic energy. In times of great stress or impending tragedy, this energy could take form, visible to those sensitive to such phenomena. This theory, while controversial, does align with the Mothman's apparent precognitive abilities and its tendency to appear in clusters around significant events. But perhaps the most mind-bending theory comes from the realm of quantum physics. Some researchers propose that the Mothman might be an interdimensional being, capable of moving between parallel realities. Its appearances could be the result of momentary overlaps between our world and its own. This could explain the creature's ability to appear and disappear at will, its apparent defiance of the laws of physics, and its association with prophetic visions and dreams. If true, the implications for our understanding of reality itself are staggering. As we come to the end of our journey into the heart of the Mothman mystery, we're left with more questions than answers. Is the Mothman a harbinger of doom, a warning system embedded in the very fabric of our reality? Or is it a silent observer, drawn to the pivotal moments in human history? Perhaps the true significance of the Mothman lies not in what it is, but in what it represents: our eternal fascination with the unknown, our quest to understand the mysteries that lurk just beyond the edge of our perception. In the end, the Mothman serves as a mirror, reflecting our deepest fears, our highest hopes, and our unquenchable thirst for knowledge. So the next time you find yourself on a lonely road, with nothing but darkness ahead and the whisper of wings in the night air, ask yourself, what would you do if you came face to face with the unknowable? Would you run, or would you, like so many brave souls before you, dare to look into those glowing red eyes and glimpse the secrets of the universe? Until next time, dear viewers, keep watching the skies, question everything, and remember, the greatest mysteries are those that live within our own minds. This has been the Phantom Files, and please remember, stay curious, stay vigilant, and always question what is lurking in the shadows.